I hope we're live. I hope we're live. Okay, the YouTube should be live. The Twitch should be live. There you go. What's good, everybody? What's good, everybody? How y'all doing? What's up? What's the word? How y'all doing? Man? What's good? My favorite cloud chaser. Yo, shut the fuck. Yo, you see me, we here. How you feeling, man? It's my last day in Chicago. So you were in the city and didn't tell nobody? Like you didn't even want to you ain't want to let niggas know? Oh, that's where you were. That's what the store. Ah, you're okay. I got you. I'm sorry. My fault. I remember. I'm putting pieces together. I forgot the combo breakers. This is it this weekend? Or that's C2? Which one is that? I have no idea. I'm gonna be honest with you all. This might turn into a deadlock stream. I'm beyond bored. What's good with you, Raymond, bro? How you doing, dog? My nigga, the community is up in arms. I still can't believe this. Yeah, I know. It's bad, dude. I know she probably doesn't want to be involved. She's probably not gonna talk about it, but Dina came back around, started retweeting some bullshit, and I do hope she's well. I do hope she's been amazing, because obviously Dina is one of the weirdest niggas, one of the weird situations where this nigga did some shit to some shit, so I don't know. We gonna see what happens or anything. Game Boy Herbie. Now that was nasty, bro. That space was fucking nuts last night. That was good, Chibi. What's good, Marth? How about that ROM hack before Volty gets to it? I'm gonna check it out. I saw it before, but it didn't look like it was. I'm gonna be honest, it didn't look like anything amazing, I'm not even gonna bullshit. I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm gonna keep it. Are you okay? You cute as fuck. Are you trying to fuck me? Relax. Let's calm down. Let's calm down. Why'd you add to 100? Are you good? Are you alright? What is your problem, bro? What are your thoughts on Chut the Builder? I'm gonna be honest with you. It's a 3-letter word. It starts with D and it ends with an E. I hope he does that, I don't really like him, What's good, Frey? How you doing? Thoughts on feet? Yeah, I'm blocking you. You looking great. You look like a Lego piece. What Lego? Let me go see this bullshit that this nigga. I'm blocking those. I'm blocking those so bad. I'm blocking dudes. Yo, you're going to hell, bro. What's happening, Loke, bro? How you doing, bro? Loving the cut? What cut? What are you talking? I haven't gotten cut in forever, dude. As a 2019 refugee, this shit is deja vu. Hey, man. You're welcome. I've never left it. Lumentel? Yeah, Lumentel's tomorrow. I got hella videos ready. We got everything ready, bro. Thoughts on baddies and Twitter spaces? I need to find them. Yeah, somebody said there was a bad bitch in one of the spaces that we did, and I was confused. I'm like, what are you talking about? Who? I didn't know what was going on. What's good, Nova? How you doing? What's good, Shadong? How you feeling? There was a lot of them. I saw this one girl that joined, and I was just like, you don't even look like you play Pokemon. I click her profile. Nigga, she's getting raw dog, stroked out. I'm like, what are you doing? in a Pokemon drama space. What the fuck's going on? And I think this shit, like, this shit blew up way out of proportion, obviously, right? This shit just like went out of nerd. But you know, reach, you know, niggas don't have the reach to make an impact, I guess, you know. Nigga, I had the Dragon Ball community niggas on his ass, bro. That's how you, hey, listen, hey, you feel me? That's reach, nigga. What the fuck is you talking about, man? That's reach, you know? Hey. Thought it was a Twitter bot. I thought so too till I went to their profile. No, like, there was multiple tweets. There's multiple Twitter accounts of just like sex workers and shit that was in there. And I was just like, what the fuck are y'all doing up in here? DM me. What the? Hey, I was just like, what's happening, dog? What's your opinion on Rocco Kingdom? I wish it had an English. I wish it had an English. Relax, what's wrong? The reach was so big, even Censor was there. But remember, you gotta remember too, Rich is a Call of Duty. Rich is a Call of Duty YouTuber. Like, Raidaway, like, he's a Call of Duty YouTuber. I'm not surprised any of his Call of Duty friends want to spin for this nigga or know about, like dog, like, you're not doing that shit. You know, like, you're not, no. You telling somebody twice your size she ain't got reach to impact you. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? I don't get it. I don't understand it, bro. Like how dare you? Who are you? He was not expecting Rich to tweet so many things, nor was his friends to turn of it. Yeah, of course. But that's what happens when, like I said, I love the Georgia folks. That's what happens when you're a real fucking person who really just are good, genuine fucking people. Like, that's what that is. Like, you can't play with people's livelihoods like that. That's weird as fuck. Nobody decked his ass in his mouth. That's the fucking problem. But what do I know? You know, I'm just a clout chaser who has no, like, I'm not involved, you know? But I think me not being involved, I can speak on shit. I can say whatever the fuck I want. Who gonna check me? You know, we not doing fuck, you know what I'm saying? It's nothing's happening. Nothing's gonna happen. Nothing's happening. So it's like, I can talk about whatever the fuck I want. What? Expect the people who don't know BS around them to just love to stay friends? Yeah. Like, nigga, fuck you. Nigga. I'll check you out. Stop flirting with me. I'm easy. What the fuck is going on? Hey, man. Thanks for the space yesterday. Helped me process a lot of it. It was perfect. Also, I saw Dina. I don't know. Everybody's telling me that Dina is back around. I can't find Dina's Twitter. I cannot find Dina's Twitter. I know she's around, though. I know she's around. I know she's around, bro. Oh, we know? You know what? You know what? You know what? Yo, Mac, what's your issue, bro? What's your problem, gang? What do you know, nigga? My fault. I'm so sorry, y'all. I had to tell, I had to talk to Matt, you know, I apologize. I hate when y'all see me like that. It wasn't meant to be, you know. That you're easy? Yo, Parker. Anyway. Do you think he'll pull a nappy and come back into a half plate and disappear again? Luke is gonna stay around. I think a lot of people underestimate how much people don't give a fuck, one. But then two, just people don't care. Like, people don't care. Like, that's just the truth of the matter. Like, if we being honest, like, people don't really give a fuck. People aren't gonna give a fuck. Make your bet. The bet is made. Those are like little, like, off sheets. What are you talking about? What? The thing that shocked me the most is him not being gay. I'm not gonna lie, yo. I'm gonna say this again, please. Everybody who thought Luke was gay, please put a 1 in the chat. Because there's no way this many people thought he was gay. The amount of people that thought he was gay is quite literally astounding me. Because how can all of you think that? What gave that away? There's too many ones. Hey, you know, what do I know? What do I know? What do I know? Maybe because I know him, obviously. I found the dude I was talking about in DMs, but I should have messaged because I'm nosy. Where's the lotion? What are you talking about? I didn't really care for his sexuality to think about it. Yeah, I know, right? One last I heard from him was the nappy stuff, so I guess ultimately to most people, he's just a dude that ducked over his friend. And if they still find him entertaining to watch. But then, like, you know, I remember Shino made a good point. Shino made a great point. Shino made a great point in the space last night. A lot of people, you got to be honest, how many people can say they were watching Luke's content for him and not his collabs with his people, you know? And that was really eye-opening to me, because like I'm like, I don't think a lot of people are going to want to work with Luke after this bullshit, you know what I'm saying? Because that's just not, you know, that nobody wants that on their rap sheet. So it's like, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I think he's gonna be fine. I think that people are gonna be his friend. People are gonna be his friend in private. I think he's gonna like. I still think he's gonna be around. I don't think he's canceled. You know. I don't think. Nigga, is that a hair? Oh, it's probably me. My fault. I don't think anything's gonna happen to nobody, bro. I really only watched Luke when it was a stream with Callum, and that was me trying to like forgive and forget. He's finally gonna upload solo content after a decade. Yeah, and that goes my thing, right? My thing is like, if anybody remembers, you have to be around for this shit. But like Luke by himself was at most like pulling like 2,000 to 5,000 views on a video. That's facts. That's real statistics. His channel was dying at one point. There was a time when he stopped fucking with like Duncan and shit. His channel was literally dying. Literally. You know? And that's when he went to the Georgia group and they blew his shit up and shit. He was stuck at 150 subscribers for the longest time. That's real. Like that's a real thing. So it's like, you're gonna have to upload by yourself and you're just gonna have to be friends with niggas in private, you know? What are we doing now? What are you gonna pivot to? So I don't know. That whole situation's weird. I was talking to my friend about it. I was like, you know, I mean, honestly, at this point, there's just genuinely like no reason for us to keep like talking about it, because we know this nigga's lying. Bro, the nigga went on, I read his thing again, right? And I want you to know, he literally said, we have not spoken since this MomoCon that just passed, but then admitted to seeing each other in March. I'm like, are you fucking dumb? Are you? And I had to read that again because I'm like, there's no way that's real. You did not just say that. He said, yeah, we did kiss and we weren't going to speak until MomoCon, but then she was at my house in March. I'm like, nigga, thank you, Jakeem, for the prime. I appreciate you, dog. I'm not doing anything. I'm not, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I know a lot of y'all are here for the drama. I know a lot of y'all are here for the tea, the back and forth and shit. I am not, like I said, I'm just a normal person that just happens to have an opinion that we all agree with. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm a ghost. I've been in the shadows of the Pokemon community for the longest time. Since that nappy shit, anybody who's like a normal here, a regular here, knows I have been far removed from the Pokemon like space. I'm friends with everybody, but like I don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm not in that bitch. You feel me? So I'm just another guy you know? I don't want no praise. I don't want no what's the word? It's not pity support or whatever, but like I don't want no like bandwagon shit. I'm just here, you know? Do you think Nabbit could use this to make a comeback out of nowhere? He better not. He Hey, just cause Luke getting canceled, don't think that bitch can come back. Don't that's not happening. That's no. That's not happening. That's not happening. That's not going on. That's not gonna go anywhere. You know what I'm saying? You're just supporting someone who's going through a shitty situation with your voice. Exactly, you know? They hate to see me coming. Bro, no. I want you to know. So I found out. Watch this. So how long till we get a Sacred versus Georgia crew? Then we fight. If they ever listen, I'm not against collabing with anybody. Nobody's ever asked. I just like sure. Hey, I'm not opposed to working with them. No, those are my guys. You know, I fuck with them the longest way possible. I don't. But I'm not here. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here for that. Somebody was like, you should promote your website. You should like, you know, promote your channel and shit. People fuck with you. I'm like, no, I'm not. That's not what this is. That's not what this is, bro. That's not what this is. You know. That's not what this is, bro. I'm not gonna sit here and take advantage of somebody getting backdoor. You know, that's no, that's not happening, bro. That's not happening, bro. You keep your distance and justify, man. And you know the thing about it is too, like it sucks too, because I'm just like, you know, I remember when I had literally so Raid posted that tweet, right? I didn't see it till like an hour later because I don't follow Rich. I don't follow him at all, right? So I just dead ass went on my For You page and I'm like, what is this? I'm like Raid away. I'm like, ain't he like friends with Dylan and them? I clicked this shit. I'm like, oh yeah, Taylor and Luke. I'm like, Luke. I'm like, only Luke I know is Game Boy Luke. I clicked the tweet. I'm reading it. I'm like, okay. I look down and I see, I'm talking about Game Boy Luke, by the way. And I'm like, I don't know who I was in a Discord call. I'm pretty sure Vontae was there. I'm pretty sure Vontae. I'm pretty sure Dose and somebody else. I sat there and I'm like, whoa, y'all see this? And niggas was like, what? Wait, see what? I'm like, this nigga Luke just fucked on his, cause that, mind you, I'm thinking like, oh, he fucked her. I'm thinking like, oh, like this, like he was, were you cool with, fuck no. I don't, since 2019 or no. So Luke and me have always been at odds, like literally since like 2014. Since 2014, 2015, me and Luke have always kind of been like clashing spirits. We kind of just like wasn't really rocking with each other. I was the friend that would always speak up against the bullshit that was going on for the most part. And unfortunately, you know, if you can't, you know what I'm saying? If you can't, Luke's like 3 or 4 years older than me. And I punked his ass several times, but that's a different story. But I remember just being like, you know, this is fucking crazy. And I went on Twitter and I was quote tweeting this shit. And I was like, yo, what? And so I'm reading more of it. I'm reading more of this shit, dude. I'm like, dog, this ain't the first time this nigga done slimed some niggas. Nigga, my phone blew up. My Twitter DM blew up. All that shit. Niggas was like, yo, I knew you were gonna see this. I'm like, what you mean? I'm like, mind you, I don't be up in this bitch like that, right? I literally play my video games. I play my games. I play my little ROM hacks, my fan games, the new games when they drop. I play my Deadlock. Y'all know me. If you're a regular here, I be out of the way. I'm not trying to be in the mix and shit. So niggas were like, yo, I know you saw this, or oh, I know you couldn't wait to see this, or oh, I've been waiting for you to see this. I'm like, first of all, what do you see me as? First of all, like, what are you talking? Wait a minute. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Ben, for the was that the airs? At the $10 one? My God, dog. Thank you. What the fuck? What the fuck? Thank you. Appreciate you, JT. And I'm just seeing what's good, rookie? I was like, wait a minute. What, how do you, first of all, I know, you know, how do you see me? Like, what are we talking about? Why were you expecting me to see this shit? You know what I'm saying? Or like, why were you like telling me about this shit? Like, what's going on? And so he's like, and after that, that's when they started being like, yeah, so this is what's happening for real. Like, people were telling, there's people involved that I can't say the names of. I can't share what they've shared with me. I can't say what they say. I literally cannot, right? Out of respect for their privacy and shit like that, you know, shit like that, right? But niggas were telling me shit about this nigga. And I'm just like, I ain't talked to Luke since like 2021. What the fuck has this nigga been doing? What the hell's going on? So obviously, I'm just, you know, I'm making light of the situation, right? I'm over here, I'm just laughing because I don't know these people like that. I don't know Rich. I've never spoken to Rich at all. But I know about Luke and his little slimy ass ways. So I'm just like, nigga, fuck this nigga. Fuck this nigga. So that's when Rich went on stream. And when I saw that stream, I was like, okay, this is a lot more serious than like me trying to make jokes and shit like that. Cause obviously, you know, I'm not in this bitch, so I'm just making like, haha, you know? But once I saw that stream, I was like, oh nah. If you go watch Rich's stream, you can literally, and I mean literally, see somebody like trying not to break down on stream and trying to rationalize what just happened to him to people that he really gave a fuck about. And I was just like, nah, okay, yeah, all right. This is we're done. No more jokes, right? Fuck it, we're done. We're good. I'm on his ass. I you know, fuck that. I mean, you have always been a dude who was always spoken his mind, to be honest, of course. About how much can you, I mean, to be honest, at this point, Pocket, most of this shit's out already. Like the details on like how like they lied to Rich and then lied to the friend group and then lied to so-and-so. Like, at this point, it's up. At this point, it's been up, you know? And it's just like, dog, like, this is nasty, dude. He was beasting through that stream. Nah, bro, you can see, bro, if you go back and watch that Rich stream, he's literally just staring at he's staring at the stream and he's just like shaking his head. He's doing this. You know, and I'm just like, yo, y'all don't know he's trying his hardest not to like just break down in tears. This is not like a that's not a normal thing to do. You know what I'm saying? What's crazy is Luke's career started with X and Y and ended with ZA. Where's my lighter? I don't have my lighter, but hey, that's fire. That's fire. That's hot. I like that. You know? I started watching The Space from yesterday, but I ain't got time to listen to 4 hours. I'm sorry for it being 4 hours. Shit was so sad because he was getting so angry and nobody know. Yeah, and it's just like, dog, like you can't play with people's lives like that, dude. You can't do that bullshit, dude. That's nasty. That's nasty, bro. Hey. Bro became AZ? What's wrong with you? My heart hurts for him. 6 years and motherfuckers defend Luke, say she was his girlfriend first. No, listen to me. And that's why I think he's gonna be fine. Because when people came out and said like, oh, it was his ex first or some shit, or that was his girlfriend first, and it you know, they dated before him, who really cares? They've been hooking up after they got together. It's like, dog, y'all are spineless fucks, dude. Niggas is spineless, bro. Spineless. Go support that twink nigga, bro. When he goes live, go support. And guess what? You already know how he feels about his supporters, because if you've been watching, if you've been like listening what's happening, he shit talks his supporters like shit. Finding out the shit that had to do with trying to pressure our friends' minds around to get with Mo. Yeah, bro, he was, man, Luke is a weirdo, dude. Like, dog, this nigga treats his supporters like shit, dude. Like, real talk. This nigga would shit his subscribers, like his own subscribers. Like, oh, hey, I'm gonna do this donathon, watch this. These niggas are so easy to, bro, this nigga made it seem like, you know how easy it was to get money off y'all? Go support him. Go ahead. Go, by all means. Go support the nigga. Go ahead. Who cares? You know? Go support him, bro. Go ahead. Nothing's gonna happen. And he was constantly spamming those fucking begathon, those donathons and shit. Like, come on, go ahead, bro. Go support that, G. It's fine. Go ahead, bro. Side note, my beef for putting that AI picture on Twitter. Yo, shut the fuck up, dude. Is that 4th gen, bro? Ski, what's up with you, bro? How you doing, dog? How you doing, bro? How you been? I know you see what's happening. To each their own morals. He didn't do anything illegal, so nothing really is gonna happen. If anything, he's gonna lose more from his dog shit solo content. No, I want you to know, Crunch, hear me out. Crunch, listen to me. The amount of people that were like, nigga, Luke's solo videos were buns. I was like, oh, so y'all wasn't even fucking with him. Y'all were just like for the dynamic of the group and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, and you know, hey, it worked for a minute, bro. As long as you're able to get the money out of it, I mean, who cares, right? 4 to 5 months is hardly a relationship. 6 years and getting engaged and attention. Dog, man. Taylor's so lucky. Nah, Luke is a collab merchant. Low key, Luke is a collab merchant. Yo. That's true. That's true. So he lost 7,000 subscribers so far. Bro, that's how much that's how many subscribers he's lost. That's how much he's lost. Well, no, but Shanice, it's not even mediocre dick. Taylor was saying the sex was bad. She was saying the sex was bad to her friends. Nigga, she went to the group chat and told everybody your dick was weak. Nigga. And they still, and they stayed friends with you because it's like, nigga, what? Nah, you, bro. I'm like, hey, listen, thankfully, I've never been slandered in a group chat. Niggas, they love me, you know? You know? I'm here, but you feel me? It's bad. It's bad out here, man. You obsessed over 6 months of cock. Of bad cock. Like, bro, what's up? What's up, bro? This nigga gotta practice voodoo. You know? You running back to Wheat Meat. Is what's going on with him, bro. Bro, his content and sex game is weak, bro. Pick a struggle, please. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you, bro? Luke has a 1-inch turd dick. What's wrong with you? Monte, why are you deleting this tweet? What's going on? Dude, is Liz, tell me someone recorded that Twitter voice? Tell me on God. I have no idea. Well, no, the space is up. The space is up. Just go to my Twitter. The space is up. The space is up, dude. The shit was hilarious. Nah, niggas was gassing me. Niggas was gassing me. They were like, "Oh, you should do a podcast." I'm like, "Why?" There's nothing. I'm gonna be honest with you. There's literally nothing funny about what happened last night, bro. That nigga, Rich hit me up in a DM. He said, "Murder him." I said, "Say no more. Say no more." In his words, he said, "Go ballistic. Take him down. I have no sympathy anymore. Go ahead." I'm like, all right. What is this? How Game Boy Luke was to Nappy? Yo, yeah. Get me out of here. I'm yeah, please. Stop. Nick, you a terrorist? What did I do? You won Instigator of the Year? What did I do? Wait a minute. Wait. What did I do? I'm a saint. I felt bad. I felt awful for Patty when I learned. Bro, yeah. Fuck that, dude. Fuck that, bro. Fuck that, bro. You see Nunkin stream? Yeah, that's how I found out that he knew about the nappy shit way before everybody else did, apparently. Why did Luke treat everyone with less subs like they were treating David and Jay back in the day? Well, because he learned it from the best person ever. Where do you think he got that from? Where do you think that came from? You know? Where do you think that happened? And you know, I'm trust me, you know, I've shitted on niggas for sure, but that's only ever like been in like defense to some hater shit. I always don't like when niggas try to like think that they're better than me when I'm doing better than them in life. Like, nigga, I will shit on your life, nigga. Don't think just because I play Pokemon we were ever the same. Let's stop. Been doing this shit for 13, 14 years strong. Let's relax your ass. I'll handle you. Don't do that. Be respectful and we good. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, Nick, we know you orchestrated Luke doing this so you can make content off of it. What content? Space? Come on, dog. It's not, you know, little me. I'm just saying he's finally getting here. This early. You've been watching us at the beginning. I've never been a fan of him. I never was a fan of Luke. And I knew him. I hated. I remember back when we were children, when we were kids, literally like Luke tried to like, I always had more subscribers than Luke until him and Nappy started to like collab and shit, right? The very moment he like passed me, I need you to understand, he thought he was better than me and I shitted on him bad, dude. And ever since then, he's kind of just been like, oh, I don't like him. And out of nowhere, him and Mo got real fucking close together. And then they started to like butt buddy dislike me. And I'm like, bro, I will handle both of you bitches. You niggas need collabs to pass me. I had most of the subs. If it wasn't Luke, no, if it wasn't Callum, Shady, or Nappy, it was Sacred Almighty. It was Sacred Fire Negro. I had like 50 fucking thousand subscribers when they had like 30, barely scratching 25,000 subscribers. Don't ever. Fuck is going on here? What is going on? Like, don't ever think you're better than me, nigga. I'll handle this shit. Like, how dare you? Only collabs I had was with Nexus. That's stamped. That's live on fucking. What are we doing? My Luke story is that in August 2020, when I was at a party outside with the mask, Luke quote dumping on me to all his followers. Meanwhile, someone DM'd me the same day. His girlfriend at the time was at a bar inside with no mask on her Facebook story. Say what you will about me being at a party, trying to be safe. Wait, did he not like niggas wearing masks for COVID? Nigga, the shit that shut the world down? What the fuck going on with him? What? What's going on? Luke's career was carried by others, not be happy to see, man. You were self-made too? Yeah, bro, like don't. I hate when niggas be acting like I'm just some random ass nigga. Bitch, just cause you ain't heard of me, hey man. Hey, y'all better fucking remember who the fuck you talking to. A lot of niggas contents are my ideas that were spammed in fucking Discord calls and Skype calls. That's facts, nigga. Luke my witness, Shino helped. Shino my witness. Like, nigga, we're bouncing ideas off and niggas got ideas off us. Like, don't do that to me. Don't ever try to sun me, nigga. Since X and Y a nigga been a threat. Nigga, fuck is we talking about? Before X and Y niggas was a threat. What are we doing? But anywho, I'm sorry. I don't want to. I hate when that side of me comes out. You know, I'm sorry. Doing collabs is fine, but his ego and attitude, yeah, I agree. You know? Sacred isn't even blue checked on Twitter, so him going on Twitter and making content, bro, I got like 5 million impressions in the last week or so with no check mark. Like, what are we doing? Like, I'm not, nigga, if I really wanted to, I could have bought a check mark today and just, you know, we ever gonna finish Decimation one of these days. We need the album. I gotta pay for the distro kit. It's like 40 bucks. I'll be honest with you all. I'm waiting to get paid right now. I'm kind of waiting. I'm literally waiting for a sponsor to hit, you know. But I got you. Trust me, I got you. I got you, bro. The album's done. Like the tape is done. It's ready. Like, if Nick was to collab at the rate Luke did, I'd have way more than 750. So is he racist? So Luke was one of those like white boys that like we tried to like get to say the N-word just to see, because you know back then it's like, oh I bet you we can get him to say the N-word or whatever. But I guess he just took it and used other people to like give him the N-word pass, you know? I don't know. I don't know. But we were also children back then, so it's like I don't really like, you know, really care. He kind of just got too comfortable doing that bullshit to other people and saying all that shit to other people. It's like, dog, you said that to us because we let you. We were your friends. You went off to whoever wanted to listen to you and thought it was like cool to just say normally, like, no, like pausing the play. No. That's not happening, bro. Yo, appreciate you, Bonch. Or Bonk. Oh shit, wait, oh shit, I saw his name. I was like, oh, thank you. But I thank you so much for the 5 gifted, my dog. I appreciate you. Everybody thank your gifters, please. Thank you. Thank you, Auntie Carmen. Happy Memorial Day. Shino had me doubling over laughing when everybody sat first and realized he ain't got no solo pro. Bro, no, when Shino mentioned that Luke didn't have any solo projects, I was like, wait a minute, you might be right. You might be right. You might be right. Appreciate you, Royal, bro. Thank you. Get Ada Ross on the phone. Yo, hey, real talk. We could put, somebody get Ada Ross on the phone. I got 2 guys that gotta see each other. You know, we could do it. I put $50 on Rich. 50. I got 50 on Rich. What we doing? Who trying to lose their money? Like, what we doing? You know? I'm with it. I put 500 on Rich, nigga. I need my money today. What we talking about? Now that's cap. We got more than 2 people. The parasocial side of those who defended Luke was his first exit. They're all, I'm telling you, King, bro, they're lost, bro. You gotta. It's one of those things where like you just have to realize these people are just lost individuals, bro. There is no convincing certain people. There is no like, no matter what truth there is, people are not going to listen to you, bro. And it's just like, yo, like, what the fuck? Whatever. Fuck him. Fuck him, fuck him, fuck him. Fuck him. Fuck him. You know? Fuck him, bro. It is what it is. Oh no, Luke had a solo project. He abandoned it for numbers to leech. I'm calling it now. Sword Ragnarok died for his greed. Well, because I was watching that bullshit. I was watching that shit, dude. Think Luke will go back to America? Yeah, of course. Listen, Luke is gonna be fine. Luke is gonna be fine. Luke is gonna be fine. He's going to, again, go back to making solo content. Some of those friends of his are still gonna be friends of his in private, right? He's gonna find some girl to either, I don't know, fuck on over here in the States or fuck on over there in the UK. He's gonna be fine. Luke is gonna be okay. Luke is gonna be all right, man. Luke is gonna be all right, bro. No, but he's not. He didn't do anything crazy, so it's like no. He didn't do anything crazy to like the normal, like illegal, like, you know, like on some legal shit. He ain't do shit like illegally, so it's like, fuck him, you know. People are gonna support who they want to support. People are gonna, like, you know, do what they want to do, and they're just gonna choose to support him over what people are saying because they probably just like his content, you know. So, hey, you know. Did y'all see that One Piece episode? It's complete sidebar. I know it's complete. Listen, I'm sorry. They animated the Robin and Saul moment. I was crying. I was in this business. Yeah, it was bad, bro. I'm so sorry. It was beautiful. That shit was beautiful as hell, bro. That was just a beautiful moment. I'm so sorry. I gotta get it out. I'm sorry. That was bad. Gotta log back in. I apologize. What's your opinion on Shady Penguin and Patty's responses to Luke? I mean, I don't know. I think I understand where they're coming from. The whole, like, you know, people make mistakes and people can grow. We gotta lead with love, yada yada. I get it. I get it. I just don't think Luke is the person we gotta give that shit to, personally. For watching it without me and Fabian, Kabuki, Fabian's not talked to us in 2 or 3 days. And you know what he has been? He's been on fucking Twitter. Fabian don't fuck with us. He's playing fucking, he's about to play GTA again. We're cooked. What are we talking about? You know how long it is? Bro, we're not gonna get him to, bro, thankfully, right? Thankfully, hopefully for next month he's gonna be there for the Johto stuff. But look in Discord. No, I know Fabian was in space. Fabian was in the spaces. This would have been infinitely worse if somebody was under the age of consent, and he can and probably will regrettably bounce back. Yeah, of course. Like if so, like, yeah, exactly. Exactly, bro. Man disappears for like years and comes back for me. Yo, what's good? What's good, Danny? How you doing? A celeb. I wish I was a celebrity. I don't get paid celebrity dollars. Well, actually, maybe that's a lie too, because they don't be getting paid. Celebrities don't be getting paid like that, bro. Y'all gotta run up my rags, bro. The weak dick shit sent me. I was up till 7 a.m. bro. No. I'm not gonna hold you. When she told the chat that, like, Taylor was telling her friends that he had bad dick, I was like, how? What? It was nasty. That's nasty. That's nasty shit. That's nasty. You know? Cause Taylor's not like an ugly girl, obviously. She's like a solid like 7 or 8, you know. She's like 2015 Tumblr fine. You know what I'm saying? She kind of cool. And she knows some bad bitches. So it's like she was telling the bad bitches, you got weak dick. And you might have given her herpes or some shit. I was like, whoa, where the fuck this come from? Where the fuck this come from? Where the fuck this come from? I'm like, what, bro? No. I want you to know when she said that, I was like, no. I want you to know, bro. I swear to God, my face, I was making faces the whole fucking space, bro. She was like, oh, and you gave him herpes. I was like, whoa. You heard, bro. You heard me, right? I was like, what? I was looking around like, what the fuck is going on? Where are we going? I didn't know where we were going with this, G. I was like, whoa. I was scared, G. I was genuinely scared. It was bad, dude. It was bad, bro. You know, it was terrible. The whole thing nearly had me being late to work. I had to stop being on X to lock in at work. It was ridiculous. It was nuts. Duncan was talking real chill to y'all, which is fucking hilarious. But what's crazy is that if you were like around for the Twitter days back in like 2015, 2016, me and Duncan used to literally argue every single day. If dead ass, like if you were around for that time, me and Duncan would argue every single day. I'm talking about literally, it is beyond cooked. Like, so for this shit to be that bad, and him and me, like, I haven't spoken to Duncan in like 6 years, by the way, before this whole thing happened. For this to be like a, what's good, how you been, woo moment. You kind of, you fucked over people, like, and you deserve it. You deserve everything that happened to you, bro. If anything, you deserve worse. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. Fuck the bullshit. You shit he did, man. It's done, bro. I was mainly watching on YouTube and Twitch. Didn't even watch the FFA, so I missed that. Was that Duncan stuff serious? Everything Duncan said was real. I remember the days the arguments was crazy in the time I had left around 2018, came back, and yeah, this was crazy. I know. Circling back to how you said Luke's friends still want to be friends with him in private, you think Shady and Nappy are still friends? No, probably not. Probably not. I don't think no. Because I think if Nappy and Shady were still friends in secret, I think Nappy would still be uploading. You get what I'm saying? I think he would still be. I think he would still be uploading. I saw a short from 4 years ago where the title was Gamebo Luke is a cobra. Turns out he's true, he's a snake. Now that's real. That's real. Who is the list of blacklisted PokeTubers for Nick besides Voldemort? And I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'm gonna say this. I don't want anybody to feel personal to anything or to take anything I say personally, but I don't fuck with a lot of people only because, and this is one of those things. This is one of those things where it's like it's a personal thing. It's nobody else's. Dead ass. You know what I'm saying? I think that if you were around for back then, like pre-2019, from like 2015 or 2016, y'all know like the public perception of me back then was like really like bad. Like niggas did not like me. People had their audiences like not fuck with me. People hated me back then. I'm talking about like genuinely fuck Nick. He makes bad content. He's a shitty YouTuber, all that shit. But they would love whenever I did a collab with their favorite fucking Predator, or I had to go get Shady and shit, or I had to go get fucking or me and Nexus was talking shit. You know what I'm saying? That my niggas hated me back then, you know? So for me, I'm like, I don't fuck with the Pokemon community anyway. Fuck y'all, you know? So when 2019 happened, and all those people, those same people were like, you guys are lying. You guys knew about this shit the entire time and nobody said anything at all. And you were trying to gang up and cancel him. And you guys make shit content anyway. I only ever watched you because of that. Ooh, all this extra shit. I said, fuck everybody in this bitch. Literally. I said, fuck all y'all. Fuck every single person ever. And I went and I did my my solo content shit. I did some shit with Nexus and Supra. I did some shit with like Jay and them. Like I stayed to like I said fuck everybody. I'm cool off that fake bullshit. I couldn't give a fuck less if anybody watches, if anybody who dislikes me or whatever breathes. If you've ever hated Sacred Almighty, Sacred Fire, Negro Nick, nigga die always. I don't care. You feel me? Cause niggas made me feel like I was shit for like the longest time. My self like worth was in the fucking mud for years. And I was just like, I don't fuck with none of y'all. So when all these YouTubers came to me and they were like, you know, trying to be friends with me, it was like, thank you. But I don't know, like, if you're just as bad, if not like a shitty person, than the friends I just had to leave behind. You know what I'm saying? Or like the friends I don't talk to no more. Or like I don't know people. So this whole shit was like foreign as fuck to me. I said, you know what? I'm just gonna go. I'ma just play my games on the side. I'ma just do my own thing and leave. I'm good. I'm good off this shit. So that's why like whenever I go to like conventions and shit, it's always super awkward. Like for me, it's awkward to like people like openly like embrace me. It's like, oh Nick, I see you all the time. I love you, bro. Ooh, how you doing? Ooh. And it's just like, hey, you know, maybe I'm traumatized a bit. You know, maybe I'm traumatized. You know, maybe that's my trauma, right? But it's just like I just was like, no, like I just said fuck that. I'm not gonna sit here and try to make people love me and try to like, you know, try to convince people to support me and shit like that. I don't fuck that, you know? So whenever it's all love and shit, I be sitting here like, wow. I didn't know niggas liked me like this, you know? I didn't know niggas liked me. I thought niggas was just, you know, on some oh fuck Nick or oh whatever. But then when it's time to do some drama and shit, niggas is like, oh, where's Nick at? It's like, oh, and you know me, I'm not here, so I'm always gonna just get my shit off. So I don't give a fuck, you know, what other people do. So it's just, I don't have it in me, you know. That's the kind of where I was at with everything. I genuinely just was not trying to be involved in anything, bro. That's why so many people were like, oh, I haven't seen you in forever. Yeah, that's the point. That's literally the point. I don't talk to people, you know? Niggas got friend groups and Discord chats I'm not in. I'm not here for that shit, dude. Cause I don't know who is a genuine person, or I don't know who is a nice person. I don't know who is, you know, a real person. I don't know anything because I don't know people. Now, maybe that's my fault for not, you know, putting myself out there and trying to like, you know, mend whatever relationships or establish new relationships, whatever. I don't know. But, you know, I'd say I did a really fucking great job, you know? When that nappy shit happened, I was stuck at like 160 subscribers. Look where we're at now. By myself. You know, it's just, hey, you know? We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it out the mud. It is what it is. It's cool, you know. But I'm not opposed to, like, you know, people wanting to do things or whatever. I'm always about like getting shit done or whatever. So I don't know. What's good, Rex? I find it interesting how the Pokemon community is split between people like these people and then people like Wolf, Cybertron, Blunder, and Joy. What do you mean? Like, you found your niche and you do your own thing instead of clinging to branch to branch? Exactly. Exactly. And I'll be honest with you. Listen to me. Exactly, yeah. Niggas is too old to be playing that fake love shit. Because I'm going to be honest with you. I know we play Pokemon. I know a lot of niggas like to think niggas is bitches behind these games that we play. I will smack 5 out of niggas. It's already, niggas know me. Don't, you know what I'm saying? Niggas know who I am. I was never the guy for the fake shit. It was not, that's not my body. That's not where I'm from. We're not doing that. No, we're not. It's not happening. It's not happening. It's not happening. It's not happening. Sorry. You know, it is what it is. It is what it is, bro. Being alone in that community is honestly the best thing in disguise. I agree. I 100% agree. But no, I think I mean, like, they stand like above all of this stuff and are involved but uninvolved. No. So my thing is this, and this is one of those things where you have to understand this too. A lot of people like a Wolf Glick, like a Cybertron, they are like endorsed by Pokemon. For the most part, them niggas are on social media to get their content off. You know what I'm saying? To get their like videos off, to pay their editors and leave. Them niggas get on this bitch and leave. They upload their videos and they go. They disappear, right? We're done. Right? People like Joey, Blunder, they're in their own space because that's the space they've cultivated. They collab with each other. That's their own side of the community. Like, you have to be over there for that, you know? But it's just there's always been different niches. You know what I'm saying? There's always been different niches for the Pokemon space, despite it being just a small space, because everybody knows everybody. We all know each other or know of each other. It's just like, you know, that's real. Have you met Hero Voltsy? I've not met him in person, but I know Voltsy 100%. Is Shady still cool? Why would he not be? What's good, Undead? We just talking shit right now. I'm bored as hell. I wanted to record, but I was like, I don't want to record anything, man. You know? Then I guess it's you, Voltsy, Pokéhacks, and Ryzen. I guess in our space, right? And then I get like the little like ROM hacking fan game community. It's like Ryzen, Zwigo, you know, Pokéhacks, Callum, you know? You're probably bored after the, well, no, cause my thing, cause I was I'm not gonna share who I was talking to this conversation with. Let me go grab it really quick. I was like, nah, I'm done on this for real unless more comes out, because at this point it's already clips for him. You know? Like he's done. And he's like, yeah, I understand that completely. Hold on, nigga. Who is this? Hold on, Fabian. Hold on, nah. Hold on. I gotta go tell Fabian something. Hold on. I just got an Instagram message from somebody. Right, there you go. I'm sorry. Also, Pokemon Z, the fan game, is an absolute fire even after restart because of a new laptop. It's amazing. It's an amazing game. Wolfie and Nick collab when? Bro, if I collab with Wolf, I promise you that nigga Verlisify is going to make a video on it. And I'm I'm the Black Wolfie Glick. I'm the Black Wolfie Glick. Like, what we doing, chat? You know what I'm saying? I've been here. I've been telling niggas that. I'm him. I'm sorry. Get on Deadlock. Get on DL, buddy. DL Almighty. Yo, I'm gonna strangle you, those. I'm gonna make sure you. It's just. I'm gonna kill him. Hold on, anywho, weren't you running your games down? What you mean? What? My stepdaughter just walked in the room talking about she want to be a YouTuber. She's 6. That's the new wave. Can we for Lumentel tomorrow? Lumentel, hey, remember Lumentel, by the way, I can carry you on Deadlock. Hold on. No, you're not. You're not. You just said you were bad. You said yesterday you were bad, bro. I need more people to play Deadlock with, you know? He has already made a video on the Luke video. What are you talking about? Wait, what? What's good, Jamie? How you doing, dog? I think I just found out who the quote unquote bad bitch was in the space that niggas are talking about. Yeah, you niggas are shameless. You niggas are shameless. I found her. I know who y'all are talking about now. I'm shit as hell. I gotta teach my peoples how to play Deadlock, bro. I have Deadlock, but I haven't played the game yet, man. No, I know it's unranked. I'm just sitting. I was like, I did ask I read the message before I read the name of who said it. I was like, that wasn't a bot account. This is not a bot account. This is not a bot account. This is not. I mean, I can ask. Hold on, let me go see. Cause one of my guys follows her. Nigga, hold on. One of my guys follows her. Hold on, G. I'm about to go. Hold on, nigga. Who is this and why do you follow her? What's good with you? No. I gotta tell him right now, bro. Nigga, who is this? Hold on. Bro, like he's the only guy that follows her. I'm like, who is this buddy? I play Deadlock, but I'm kind of low ranked. Oh my goodness. Tell him we on stream. See a degenerate like me just play League. I'm trying to spend 100 hours learning Deadlock too. Well, so I learned that a lot of Smite players quit Smite to play Deadlock. You know. You follow her. No. He said, not gonna lie, I have no idea. I'm like, nigga, you follow her. What do you mean? Nah, he got it, bro. Would you do it? I would do it. Yeah, of course I'd do a VGC draft. Listen, I'm like I said, I'm all for collaboration, dude. I've always been a collaborator, especially with that brand new collab feature. Like that collab feature where like you share where you share the subscription box or whatever, and it like shows your name and the other guy's name is mwah. That is literally the best feature they've came out with in the last like 5 years, you know? When was the last time you even played draft? Oh, I think since the UCL. I think since the UCL. Does collab on YouTube put the content on everybody's? Yeah. So if you're involved in that video and you're tagged and like you're in the video or whatever, and you're collabed on the video, it's gonna show up in both your sub boxes and it's gonna show up on both the homes, you know? When are you going to react to that experience share, the honest truth? The honest truth experience share. Let me go see. Let me see him. Let me see. The honest truth by this guy Dupes. Is that who you're talking about? Is it this Dupes video? What's good, Jurgens, bro? Jurgens the Jurgenator. Are you good? What's with this username, bro? What's with this username, G? Yes, that's the video you're talking about. Y'all want to react to it? Y'all want to react to this experience share video? How long is this video? It is 30 minutes long though. So I don't know if y'all want to sit here and, you know, this nigga don't really stream. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I don't really stream. I'm a bad content creator, bro. I'm telling you. I'm just a terrible. I'm a terrible content creator. I keep telling y'all, bro. I also don't like streaming. I think streaming is like, you know, low effort content for the most part, you know. But nah, let me go grab it. Let me go grab this shit. Let me go grab this video, put it in a tab. This video is, I guess this is the, y'all want to record it? Y'all want to record this shit? Y'all want to record this shit? This gonna be a video. Fuck it, it's gonna be for a video chat. You know what I'm saying? We gonna do it for a chat. Hold on. You ready? All right, y'all ready? Let's go. Everybody say hello to YouTube, by the way. Hello, everybody. Welcome to a brand new reaction video. It's been a minute. We're gonna be reacting to a brand new video called Grinding in Pokemon. the honest truth. This is the, well, no, not this one, wrong one, my fault. Oh my goodness, here it is. This is the video. Oh my God, relax, buddy. What the hell's going on? You know? Hold on, I'm gonna cut this out, obviously. Is that Styles? My nigga, is that Styles? Brother, what's good with you? I ain't said that with the Pokemon content for 2019, but your tweets been killing me. Appreciate you. Of course, Styles, bro. Of course, bro. Hope you been well, brother. What the fuck? Dog, what? My God. What the fuck? Yo, that's how you know this shit real. The shit brought back niggas who haven't been around in so long, bro. God damn. Damn, dog. I'm sorry. We gotta get back into it. I gotta get back into it. Hello. This is the video. This was requested. It's 30 minutes long. If you're new to the channel, you know what to do. Leave a like on both this video and the video in the description, of course. I want to read this. I want to see what happens. This is the honest truth on grinding in Pokemon. Now, before we get into anything, I would like to know how y'all feel about grinding in Pokemon, or the concept of grinding in Pokemon. A lot of people think you don't grind in Pokemon. I disagree entirely. I think that, like, you do grind in Pokemon. I think that what we consider grinding, people aren't considered grinding for some reason. And I don't know why they're not considering it grinding. I don't understand, like, why they're just not, like, you know, considering it that. But I'm not a big fan of it, but it is what it is. Let's kind of get up into it, bro. Let's kind of get up into it right now. I want to see, turn this down a little bit. All right, he's using that good music. What's good? What's good, Gus? How you doing, dog?
Ever since the release of Generation,
oh my God, hold on, I gotta turn this up a little bit.
He's been arguing over and over again about one single issue that has seemingly plagued the series ever since Pokemon entered its modern era: difficulty, and more specifically, grinding in the EXP share. Some people say the new EXP All has reduced the depth of the games, while others believe the new EXP system makes the games playable. Of course, as with most internet discussions, there's been a lot of bad faith arguing and reduction, and as someone who has played every generation and is currently replaying them in order, I'm making this video in hopes that we can explore both sides of the issue to have a reasonable discussion about the matter and reach the honest truth by giving my own input. This video is more so focused on the EXP systems rather than the holistic difficulty of the games, but when it is relevant, I will go into the difficulty too. Without further ado, let's begin. The EXP share existed in the classic Pokemon games, generations 1 through 5, as an item that would split your EXP between two Pokemon. The one battling and the one holding the item.
Sidebar, I'm so sorry. I am a fucking nerd, bro. I'm a fucking nerd. I see Pokemon Red and Blue's art cover. It brings a smile to my face, bro. It brings a smile to my face, bro. Oh my God, dude. I love Pokemon, dude. Holy shit, dude. Y'all just has anybody here actually held a Pokemon Red and Blue box, like the actual box, in like mid condition? Like mint condition? It's literally, it just feels like you're holding history. I'm glazing so bad. I'm sorry.
It was something you'd acquire after having done something or obtained some objective, and it would give you another option when managing your Pokemon team. In Generation 6, though, this was changed to an EXP All, where the participating Pokemon would gain full XP from a battle, but all of your party Pokemon would also gain 50% of the EXP, effectively multiplying.
Yeah, I will come to this goddamn screen. Relax.
The amount of XP you got from a battle by 3.5 times. This type of item did actually exist in Generation 1, but the EXP was split evenly between all of your team members, so it's not exactly the same. The EXP All has understandably been an incredibly powerful item that has boosted the power level of your teams, and people that enjoy the EXP All argue that this is undoubtedly a good thing. It smoothens out the playing process and lets you focus on the battles, cutting out a ton of grinding that only padded the games out and created artificial difficulty, which often made having a full team impossible without grinding. They also argue that basically every other RPG has a form of EXP sharing, so there should be no issue in Pokemon having it. The difficulty reduction is negligible because of this, especially since Pokemon's always been an easy series. Plenty of fan games and Nuzlockes have features to keep you at an equivalent level as many bosses, so difficulty obviously doesn't come from that. The bottom line is, it's a great quality of life feature. The anti-EXP All crowd argues that there's been a loss of depth in Pokemon and a massive crater left in the game's field, and the EXP All has reduced the game's difficulty down to the point where they're not even worth playing because of how easy you bulldoze through everything. The rigidity before the EXP All existed was part of the experience of being a Pokemon trainer and forced you to make choices that impacted your playthrough beyond the boss fights, especially with the regular EXP share that was still worth reusing. Now, with this baseline understanding of both arguments, let's take a deep dive when evaluating them. Many of these arguments go hand in hand. The
Huh. Hmm. I can't. Okay, let's just.
issue
I'm
about
sorry.
difficulty,
I
for
had an
example,
idea and I was like, I'm gonna
the
say something.
anti-EXPL crowd
He might
say
say what
that
I'm
these
thinking.
games are made so easy because of it that they're not even worth playing, while the pro EXPL camp says that this just isn't the case at all. And the hard truth is, the EXPL should have no bearing on whether a game is easy or not. Obviously, there is some nuance to this, so let me explain. When you have a game not built around an EXPL, but rather the classic EXP system like Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, and swap in the EXPL, those games are going to get exponentially easier when you multiply the player's EXP gain by 3.5 times. But at the end of the day, the EXP system you use in a game doesn't make it hard or easy, it's the design around it. A lot of Pokemon games have the EXPL just sort of haphazardly thrown in it, like X and Y or Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, only adding to how easy those games are, especially X and Y. But it is possible to make difficult games with the EXPL. Again, it's all just a matter of design. Take Ultra Necrozma. It's almost universally considered a very hard fight in the series. 9 out of 10 players I think would agree it's on the harder end of everything in the series, whether you specifically struggled with it or not. While Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon use the EXPL, that has no bearing on the strength of Ultra Necrozma, will often one-shot a lot of your team regardless.
Apollo, my broski!
It doesn't matter how much EXP you gain or what system it is if Ultra Necrozma is meant to be so far above you to be a challenge regardless. On the flip side, going back to a game like Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, flopping in an EXPL in a game designed around the old system is obviously going to take a toll on the difficulty of the game.
Okay, but then also when it comes to Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, those games were too easy because they literally gave you everything. Like you got. Like let's remember what type of game X and Y on Omega Ruby, like Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire were. In X and Y, you got your starter Pokemon and a Mega Lucario and a Kanto starter Pokemon. Maybe by like the 4th gym badge of the game. Of course, the experience all is gonna make the games fucking easy. But then at the same time, if you remember in X and Y and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, those Elite Fours were in their 60s. X and Y's Elite Four was like 65, 64-ish. When you got to Diantha, she's like 66, 67, right? But you already had a well-balanced team with your Kanto starter, your Mega Pokemon, and or your Mega starter, and then whatever other Pokemon that you just got. In Oris, it's the exact same thing. Those levels are pushing like 50, 60, 65-ish. And you can literally fly around to wherever you want, and you get literally a Mega Latios and a Mega Latias. Those Pokemon are not like Pokemon you should give to the player normally. You know what I'm saying? Like those, just off the strength of who Latios and Latias are as base Pokemon, you're not supposed to get those Pokemon at the 5th fucking gym badge. Maybe by like the 7th or 8th, sure. You literally got that shit and you were able to use it and just one-shot everything because their special attack is so fucking high. You know, it's like you can't. Of course the game's gonna be easy. It's not the experience all's problem. The game is designed to be a lot more streamlined because they're giving you everything. That's not an experience all issue, is what I'm saying. You know, the experience all in the Gen 6 games, they gave you everything. At least in Sun and Moon. In Sun and Moon, I can understand like people being like, "Oh, I wish it was like a optional thing." 'Cause I'm pretty sure it was. Was it forced? No, it was optional in Sun and Moon. I'm pretty sure. Sun and Moon, to me, balancing wise, I'm gonna say this right now. In the next 5 or 6 years, mark my words, we're going to have conversations about Sun and Moon and the Ultra games being like some of the best Pokemon games. I already see it happening on Twitter. I see it happening, right? But I'm telling you, in the next 5 or 6 years, you're going to see people praise Generation 7. I'm going to say this right now. Before it happens, I was here first. I think Sun and Moon was the last time I've seen everybody excited for a Pokemon game ever. I think so. Because if you remember when Sun and Moon got announced, Alola just literally just took over the world. I just want you to know, I was here first. Y'all can say the game, Sun and Moons were slow, the heavy cutscenes, they were hand-holdy, sure. Y'all are going to sit here, I'm telling you, in the next 5 years, mark my words, people are going to go back and think fondly on Generation 7, and y'all are going to see in real time people switch up, because niggas loved Sun and Moon until Ultra came out, and that's when they were like, oh, these games are so slow, these games are so hand-holdy, these games, there's always a new cutscene every single time. I get it, sure, but those games were properly balanced to me. Like, if we're being honest, Sun and Moon as a game, you can't go wrong, in my opinion, when it comes to Sun and Moon. Sun and Moon has the best story. I can argue. I can argue. I actually read the dialogue in Pokemon games. I'm a fucking nerd. I know this, you know? I can go. I can go, you know? I love the regional variants. I love the Alolan forms. I love the side quests, because if you bought the trainer, this was back when niggas used to buy the training guide for Sun and Moon. If you did all the side quests, those are some of the best side quests in Pokemon. Those were like content-filled games. The collectathons were like really worth it. The mini games was fun. Like, dog, I'm sorry. Dog, Generation 7 got it, dude. It got it. It's up. It's up. It's so good, bro. I'm sorry. We're getting off topic. I'm sorry.
Difficulty is that they've taken the old system of EXP and swapped it to the EXP All without updating a lot of the design necessary for that. Oftentimes in classic Pokemon gym leaders would have a few but strong Pokemon that would match with your team. You'd either have a few Pokemon that were strong or many Pokemon that were weaker on average, but you'd have more of them. And you'd have to overcome this level gap between your Pokemon and the gym leaders with your numbers. Or your Pokemon were just strong enough to fight the gym leaders because you were focusing on a few rather than many. So when you have the EXP All, you can have a lot of Pokemon at a high level, while gym leaders still only use a few Pokemon. This is obviously going to obliterate the difficulty too.
That's a design flaw, yeah.
I feel the new games are so easy is because they maintain a lot of the old design around the original EXP system while feeding you so much more EXP. But not only that, they also just give you tools that are so much more broken. In Generation 6, they straight up just hand you a Mega Charizard, a Mega Lucario, and a Mega Latios or Latias while the enemies are using Go-Go, Meowstic, and Altaria. It's no wonder that when you have all this EXP on top of these powerful Pokemon that they're going to be so easy. And this isn't even mentioning systems like Affection that are later thrown onto you. The bottom line is the EXP All isn't what makes games easy, it's the design surrounding them. You can still make fights hard in the games with this system, just as you can have easy fights with the classic EXP system. Critics of the EXP All in regards to difficulty should instead aim it at the game design that isn't accounting for it.
No, but see, that's the problem though, because you're asking people to shit on the games. And a lot of people don't know how to critique things they like, right? So like, instead of blaming this one mechanic, let's blame the actual game. Hey, these Pokemon games are fucking easy. Why are they making me fight trainers? We're like 5 or 6 gym badges in, I'm fighting trainers with 3 Pokemon. Some of which aren't fully evolved, some of which aren't like so-and-so. You're giving me the most broken fucking thing imaginable. You know, like that's a flaw. And people don't know how to critique things because they see things as like being an attack. It's like, oh, but I love it. I'm having so much fun with it. Okay, then why are we complaining here? Oh, because it's not enough to enjoy what I no like. What are we doing? What are we doing? People can't critique things they like, quote unquote. You know.
The next issue I would like to discuss is that of grinding and training your Pokemon, as well as the old leveling system being an outdated relic of the past that has no place in modern games. Both sides have a different take on it.
I think the old Pokemon games are a chore to go through. I do think they are. But for their time, they're pretty standard. I think that the old Pokemon games were pretty standard, like grinding for a regular small Japanese RPG. I think that was like I can't, you know, at least it wasn't the other Square Enix titles that they had niggas grinding and shit for hours on end. Like there's a shit, nigga. If I had the speed up button on the PS2, you know how many games I would have abused that shit on? Like every RPG had grinding back then. If I'm being honest, back then, Pokemon's grinding wasn't that time consuming. It was a lot more tame than a lot of other RPGs, if I'm being honest, you know? I love the experience all back then. Nigga, I remember I hated, I need people to understand, I don't give a fuck if you felt more in tune with Magikarp. I hated getting that level 5 fucking Magikarp and having to switch train that fucking thing, because that's grinding. That was not a fun thing, and I didn't care. I just wanted a Gyarados. I'm gonna be honest with you. I just wanted a Gyarados. I didn't give a fuck about how rewarding it made me feel. That was not fun. That was not a fun time. That was not fun. That wasn't fun. It wasn't rewarding. No, I just wanted my fucking Gyarados. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that is like, no. Or like when you got the Togepi egg and it was like, damn, you gave it to me level 5. I got to grind this thing up to my level 30s that I have. That's just not a fun thing. But at this point, you had the experience share. So who really cares, right? I can just put it in there. And by the time you get to like your 40s, that thing would be like maybe like 25, 30, 29-ish, maybe 30. It would already be ready to be evolved, you know? But that's a design flaw. That's like a level curve issue, you know? But
enjoyers of the EXP all cite 3 major issues with the old leveling system. 1. All modern RPGs have an EXP all adjacent system, so it's archaic design.
Most do.
2. The game requires you to waste too much time.
Most do. Most modern RPGs do, but then also most modern RPGs have a small cast of characters. But by that logic, I would also argue that is why we do need an experience all in a Pokemon game, because if you're grinding Pokemon, there are 1,000 Pokemon now. We're not playing with 200, 150, 300, 400 Pokemon anymore. We're playing with thousands of 1,000 Pokemon now. You can get every single Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet now. You get what I'm saying? There is no, oh yeah, I'm gonna grind. Because those games are pretty much empty if you're not doing the raid dens. And the raid dens is the only way you can get the experience candy, you know? Or the rare candies equivalents and shit like that. I would argue that because we have 1,000 Pokemon, we need an experience all. That way people can have access to whatever Pokemon they want access to and be able to use their favorite Pokemon and still get their shit off. And be able to just bring in Pokemon, take out Pokemon, and that be it, you know? But
grinding. And 3, this is compounded by the fact that grinding is just incredibly slow, and you have to spend hours shredding through wild Pokemon just to get yours up. So let's talk about them. The first argument about all modern RPGs having an EXP all adjacent system is simply false and overly reductive. Not all RPGs have this. Fire Emblem, for example, doesn't. There may be ways for all of your units to gain experience in some games, but in combat, a unit only gains EXP if they've contributed to the fight. You can have your weaker units benefit by buddying them up with a stronger one to get them EXP, but there isn't an EXP all like there is in Pokemon.
He's right.
But even beyond that, it is true that plenty of games do have party-wide EXP, but this neglects the nuance between games.
That's the game design.
RPGs,
yeah.
Upwards of half of your party are fighting an enemy at the same time. This obviously creates an incredibly different gameplay loop and flow from Pokemon, where even double battles are rare. But even deeper than that, Pokemon is a game where switching around, the Pokemon you use in battle happens in nearly every fight. While that's not much of an emphasis in other games, at least comparatively to Pokemon. Additionally, in Pokemon, the story of your party can only really be told through their encounters in battle. Take Magikarp, for example. The story behind this Pokemon is that it needs a ton of support for it to evolve, to the point where it cannot feasibly fight on its own. But after you've struggled with it for a while, by switch training it, Gyarados rewards you with an almighty power you cannot find anywhere else in the game at the level you obtain it. That's not something that can be told through the campaign of a Pokemon game, but in another JRPG you may have events within the story that can tell the same thing for a party member. Also, in some games, your party members just sort of leave your party for one reason or another. So if that was the party member you had been working on and you had no backup members, you'd be pretty much screwed over something you really couldn't know about. Regardless of the reasoning though, pointing to other JRPGs and saying, why shouldn't Pokemon have this mechanic, is incredibly reductive and ignores the differences in their gameplay and each individual series needs. Pokemon is its own series with its own designs that doesn't necessarily translate to others. The better question is, does Pokemon need this mechanic? And you'd have a better argument from that point of view, leading into the issue of grinding. Many players find that their teams can be incredibly lopsided in terms of level because some Pokemon just aren't getting the battles in to get up in levels to match the bosses. So you'll have to grind a lot for each fight to have your Pokemon on equal terms. And getting a new team member similarly can be incredibly grindy because of the time you have to spend to get them up to speed. To give you an example, look no further than the game most infamous of this. The one and only Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver. If you ask 100 people what Pokemon game is the grindiest, you're sure to hear this game most often from Pokemon fans. Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver are characterized by fights that leave you far below the boss's Pokemon, and the wild Pokemon people use to grind are too weak to give you any meaningful EXP without running around a patch of grass for hours. This is the game that appears to be the most extreme for these issues, so I'll be using it as my point of reference. Take Lance. When I was replaying Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver, this was my team after the Elite Four. Ignoring the outlier that is Lugia, who is spawned in at level 45, my strongest Pokemon is 13 levels lower than his, and 9 levels weaker than the Gyarados that is his weakest Pokemon. And then there's the team I had after Red. My strongest is a whole 20 levels lower than his weakest. And again, these were after the fights, so that doesn't take into account the EXP I got during them. It is unarguable that there is a massive level gap between my team and my opponents. So what choice did I have to grind? Well, if you've been paying attention, you'd have noticed that these are my teams after Lance and Red, meaning that I defeated them with these levels. The honest truth that I have realized after replaying all of these games is that grinding has never been the solution to a battle. Only the simplest one, never the best. You've never been forced to grind in Pokemon. Yes, even in Johto. There's a fundamental misunderstanding about Pokemon that you have to be on the same level as your opponents, or even close. I think this may have stemmed from the popularity of Nuzlocke, where fainting is the same as losing a team.
I'm telling y'all, I've been literally saying this, bro. I've been dead ass saying this, bro. The people that aren't like super fond of like grinding or like or want to be like on equal footings as the gym leaders and like, you know, level caps and shit like that. That's all Nuzlocke shit. That's all Nuzlocke shit. That's literally verbatim Nuzlocke 101, where you have to go to the highest of the fucking levels. You have to you have to strategize your way. But people don't realize, right, that like these games are modified. You know, all these games are modified. Every single game that you see somebody Nuzlocke is literally modified to be as hard as fucking possible. You should not be going to a regular Pokemon game with Nuzlocke brain, and you're an idiot if you think Pokemon games should be modified how you play your Nuzlocks and how ROM hackers and fans create their Nuzlocke experience. I don't understand where that like came from, but I understand that like people enjoy the games how they enjoy the games. The problem is how you enjoy your games and how you enjoy, like, how you experience Pokemon is not what Pokemon is. Like, I saw one of them, like, Pokemon Nuzlocke guys say, oh, this is how Pokemon should be played, or, oh, it's more fun like this. Why is the for me silent for you? Why is that? Why can you not say for me, like, this is how I play Pokemon. This is how I enjoy the Pokemon games. This is what I like to do. You know, you would have a better time arguing with people when it comes to this thing by saying that, especially like I said, when these games give you hella rare candies, or you're able to, like, you know, grind up normally with like some some Autonos or some shit. You are playing a modified version of Pokemon, and your modified version of Pokemon is not how Pokemon is meant to be played. I'm sorry. I get wanting a hard difficulty. I get it. But that's not how Pokemon is meant to be played. It's a kid's game, dog. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to collect as many Pokemon as possible, learn type matchups, strategize against the gym leaders, and be a little bit under-leveled and or maybe on the same level. It's not the same on like the games are designed to be how they're played. You know? That's what that is. And I understand like the logic of, oh, as a player, I should be able to have the option of doing this, that, and the third. I disagree personally, because if the game is tailored and the game is created with this direction and this vision in mind, you as a player don't really have a choice here. You don't, because the creator created this shit to literally be played a certain way, and the options that you think you should have are already in the game. They're already there. The amount of Pokemon you have access to is already in the game. The amount of Pokemon you want on your team is already in the game. Having the experience or whatever is already in the game. How if you want to battle all trainers, most trainers on those routes are optional. They're already in the game. You're supposed to play the game how it's supposed to be played. That's how it is. That's literally how it's always been for every single game. Every game has like mechanics and things, features and shit that they're literally designed around. The options that you think you should have are already in the game. It's you wanting more. It's oh, this game is not hard enough for me. I need a challenge from this. You might not like Pokemon anymore. That's a different discussion, but I genuinely feel like your frustration from Pokemon not being what it is that you're looking for is because you have grown out of Pokemon. You're just not ready to admit the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not ready to sit here and face the fact that you might not be the target demographic anymore, you know? And that's a tough pill to swallow for some people. That's a tough, like, that's tough eats, because they grew up playing Pokemon. They've attached their personality to Pokemon. They've joined the Pokemon community. They've been involved in this shit. But it's like, no, you're just a consumer. At the end of the day, you know, you're just another person, you know? And that's the truth. And you might not like this thing as much as you like it, you know? That's the truth. But what do I know, right? What do I know? What do I know? What do I know, bro? I'm just another person.
Team member or ROM hacks that genuinely push you that far, but this has never been the case in vanilla Pokemon. In fact, the game tells you the opposite, and this is where we move into another anti-EXP all argument. Pokemon has always been about the strategy you take into your opponent. That's why there's such an emphasis on super effective moves in the game. The starting gyms are kept quite close to your level so that you aren't overwhelmed when you don't have a ton of options, but as you progress you gain access to the moves that are effective against them, so the progression of difficulty changes. You have access to their weaknesses, but their teams are always static, so the difficulty is then created by the level gap. Your advantages become your access to super effective moves and your party member advantage, while the boss has the raw numbers in terms of where they have fewer but stronger Pokemon than you do. And eventually, even that numbers advantage is eroded away as the game goes further. But the game gives you more than this. You have access to as many items as your bag can hold, status moves, and even before the battle, you can seek out strong Pokemon like legendaries to help you out. But most importantly, the best tool you have is your brain. The reason that there's a massive level gap is that the game can't just exclusively be about clicking the fire type button into the fire weak Pokemon. Otherwise, it's not very engaging. It has to evolve, which is the reason for the level gap. Now you're being challenged on how well you can manage your own Pokemon while also battling the opponent. Yes, Lance had Pokemon far above mine, but I have access to 4 times super effective moves against almost all of his Pokemon that I can exploit. But beyond that, I also have status moves like Thunder Wave and Yawn to help my Slowking land its Ice type moves against his Dragonites, and allow my Pokemon free turns to heal up in a pinch. And against Red, it was a similar process, with your advantages reduced even further as you progressed into the final fight of the game, with Red having no 4 times weak Pokemon and an even larger level gap. There are so many strategies that you can use to overcome these gaps in strength, and that's what the game wants you to do. It teaches you about the worth of battle effects in the fight with Whitney's Miltank and its infamous charm and flinching stomp. Grinding is obviously the most obvious solution, but again, it has never been the best one. Even your weak Pokemon can contribute to a lot of fights in these ways. It was a different game, but my Mightyena in Emerald with Intimidate and Scary Face.
I think I've played Pokemon Champion so far more than any other Pokemon game outside of Legends since Black and White 2. But I like games I can sweat in, so yeah, I think I grew out of it. It's why Digimon was so refreshing. That's real. That's actually true though. Like that's genuinely, like, that's real shit though. Like that's actual, like, you know what I'm saying? That's real. That's real acknowledgement that you just aren't, that you're just done. Like you don't, like, vanilla Pokemon isn't for you anymore, you know? I wouldn't expect somebody to like hard and challenging games to like Pokemon. That's just not real. It's the reason why, nigga, a whole bunch of people grew out of Pokemon to begin with. Back in the day, niggas, you still play Pokemon at like 15, 16. I'm like, nigga, what are you doing? Go play 2K. Go play Call of Duty. Those games on a skill level are just harder than Pokemon. You know, it just is. Like, has anybody here been tried being good at those games? They're way more challenging, you know? At base, you know, because competitive Pokemon's really intricate, but like, that's competitive Pokemon, you know? But
was an incredible help in my playthrough, allowing my other team members like Regice and Hariyama to better combat bosses. Even if Mightyena's stats were like that of a wet noodle,
that shit
it didn't
trash.
have lots of good matchups, it was still an integral part of my team due to the support it offered, even when it had a bad matchup. And it shows how weak Pokemon can contribute to fights through support. In Heart Gold and Soul Silver, my Ampharos similarly supported my Slowking against Lance by paralyzing his Dragonites to allow my Slowking to move before them, and sometimes even get lucky with a free turn because of paralysis. Now you might point to my Lugia and say that I was using a legendary to carry me, but if you look closely you'll see between my catching Lugia and beating Lance, it only gained a single level, and it was the second lowest level member on my team against Red as well. It wasn't something I really relied on. Whatever the case, it is your job as a player to figure out how your team interacts with the bosses and figure out a plan from there.
Call of Duty and 2K are not hard at all. Are you fucking stupid? Are you crazy to be good at those games? To be good at those games, come on. Those are like competitive multiplayer games. Pokemon's a single player experience. The competitive scene in Pokemon is completely optional and super small. Have you seen how hard Pokemon is at a competitive level? That's why nobody plays it competitive like that. That's why it's not that big of a thing. There's more people that casually play Pokemon than competitively play Pokemon. That's real. That's real life. That's not like, and that's real. Your average Pokemon fan is buying that shit because Pikachu's in the game, you know? That's what that is. But you're a sweaty YouTuber or like your competitive, I'm going to a regionals, they know the hard details on every single Pokemon that's viable right now in that scene. But you still gotta have a good KD. You know, how good are you? You feel me? That's a whole different, like, those games are designed around competitive play. You know? It's just it's different designs, you know?
Access to a vast array of items and status moves to get you over them, and it may take you a few tries to do this, and that's okay. It's okay to lose while you're figuring out the boss's team. It's okay to take your time and try again, and it's okay to think, well, I'm just not well prepared enough for this, and go and gather resources to try again. And even if you have to grind, if for some reason you can't get over the boss, or maybe you're just against using items and status moves, you have access to better forms of EXP than wild Pokemon. If you have access to Lance, you also have access to the previous Elite Four members that will give you way more EXP than wild Pokemon will, and money on top of that. Heart Gold and Soul Silver has a whole mechanic dedicated to giving you better fights with the rematch calls. As you progress through the game, your previous opponents will call and ask you for a rematch. Now you don't have to fight them, but if you do need the EXP, please use these sources rather than the wild Pokemon, especially since you get to call them after the radio.
They don't even use the VS secret no more. They don't even use the PS Secret no more. To be honest, they don't even do trainer battles like that, low key. Like trainer battles, if we being honest, Scarlet and Violet did not have a lot of trainer battles at all, if we being real. A lot of those trainers were like scattered throughout the whole region, and they were like in like random areas that you can dead ass just like move around on unless you follow like the actual path. We're not getting good Pokemon games,
and challenge them to a rematch at that point. And this extends to the gym leaders after the Elite Four as well. Now you might say that these games shouldn't make any player have to grind, but I don't think designing any game around the people in the worst case scenario should be the norm. It is a far more worthwhile experience for everyone if there is some challenge, even if a few players are left to grind. A game asking players to evolve as the game evolves itself isn't a bad thing, it's just proper game design. That said, I think there are a few fights where you might, and I say might,
Again, I don't think you're forced to grind, but maybe it's the only way you can figure it out if you have a bunch of bad Pokemon on your team. I just don't have the experience with that, but I still don't think you have to. I get it. I get that.
Personally, but I'm not everyone, where you might have to grind, depending on the Pokemon you're using and your team composition, or maybe you're just not skilled enough. But these fights are exceptions.
Hey, niggas don't want to be told they fucking garbage. Yo, niggas don't want to be told they're fucking horrible at Pokemon, dog. Let's unpack that. Niggas don't like that. I keep telling people Pokemon's never hard. You have a type. You need to have a type advantage. You know, it's not hard at all. You just might be terrible. You know,
within the rules, and they have their own context to them that require a deeper analysis of their game design in another video, not this one, sorry. But again, these are outliers, so I don't see them as very relevant to the broader discussion about the EXP systems, as even the games with the EXP all have these massive spikes too occasionally. As I mentioned, boss difficulty isn't something inherent to either EXP mechanic. Ultra Necrozma, as I mentioned before, is a difficulty spike similar to Lance and Red that arguably goes even farther than them. So to reiterate, these issues are less of an EXP system problem, but a design issue which is its own conversation separate from grinding and the EXP share. The next EXP all argument is what I actually believe to be the most relevant to the conversation, the so-called Death of Death. Pokemon at its core is a game about raising a team and endearing yourself to them over the course of an entire journey through a given region, at least traditionally. It's not only about the boss fights or the evil team you have to stop, it's about the little moments in between on each individual route where your team just gets that little bit stronger and the decisions you make to train them. Experience is an infinite resource due to the ability to grind, but there are also only finite sources of experience unless you want to grind. And here is where a core mechanical depth and decision making of Pokemon has been completely cut off by the EXP all. This argument is from the anti-EXP all crowd, by the way, if you couldn't tell. Well, we've talked about the boss battles and how you've never really been forced to grind for them. If you used all the tools accessible to you, there's still a lot of time to spend before those fights begin that can create awkward scenarios. Take this Twitter user, no hate to them, obviously. They struggled with the wild team differentials, which made some of their Pokemon unviable to be used against bosses.
I know, but you end up with wilds having to bring the lower ones to speed instead of being able to just pick whoever is the best battle is annoying to me. Like, for example, if I'm fighting a fire gym and the water type on my team is under level, my only option is to use someone else and power through the bad type matchup or grind up the water one. But if I had the experience share, my water type would already be on par with the team. I don't know.
And here we move into another concept the EXP all has utterly obliterated: experience management. In classic Pokemon, you can use as many Pokemon as you like. You can have a few Pokemon that will be all relatively high leveled, but may struggle into a few bosses that counter them. For example, if you just use your starter Cyndaquil and a few AHM mules, you're going to struggle into Lance's entire team that resists fire. Or you can raise a variety of Pokemon that will be lower level on average but give you more options. Think of my teams, for example. I'm taking a lot of damage, but I'm also able to dish it back to any foe with a variety of non-damaging moves as well. And managing the EXP gain of your team is part of that team building process. Gym leaders, champions, and rivals aren't the only trainers. There's also bird keepers, youngsters, and bug catchers that act as not just—
He kind of cooking. Like he's shit. He's doing it. This is a good, like, Yeah.
Obstacles in your path
Yeah.
are key ways to keep your team around the same level, as it's your job as a Pokemon trainer to, well, train your Pokemon and choose how you do so. If you notice that one of your team members is falling behind, you need to give them the attention during these weaker fights. Of course, this also extends to your new team members that really need a lot of help to get up to speed, which is going to involve switch training, and that friction between switching your weak Pokemon into your strong guy. Well, it's not exactly fun, it is precisely what gives value to the training of that Pokemon. You see it go from not being able to fight on its own at all to being able to chip in to being a fully fledged member of your team, and the EXPL sort of just obliterated that. When you catch a new Pokemon, you don't even have to interact with it for it to become a part of your team. You no longer watch them grow over time, not just through the numbers, but how they participate in battle over time. In Pokemon Platinum, I had to work hard to get my Badoo to evolve. As a baby Pokemon, it needs a lot of attention and care, and I watched it change through every step of the process, from when it couldn't even win a one-on-one with a Bidoof to where it was taking down Crasher Wake as it evolved. And that's just what the game was. You had to put in the effort to support your Pokemon that needed it. I didn't have to halt my playthrough and grind the patches of grass for Badoo. I simply had to switch train it as I progressed in my journey through the fights with the trainers on each and every route. There was friction, but that's exactly what makes you as a player feel your Pokemon change.
Wait a minute. Wait. I have a question to anybody watching this. Do you consider switch training grinding? Because I know there's a lot of people that don't consider switch training grinding, and I always wondered why. Because in my mind, you're literally taking this one Pokemon that's fucking garbage and switching it out. And you're doing that for every single battle. I wouldn't call that friction. Switch training is part of general leveling. Grinding is like effort you have to put in. Okay, but like watch this, right? When you get your Magikarp, right? In Fire and Leaf Green, right? That thing is level 5. By that point, you've already gotten maybe a level 16, a level 14, maybe like a level 12, a level 13. You're already in your teens. That Pokemon is level 5 when you get it. To get that Magikarp to your level 20 Gyarados, you have to spend a little bit more extra time than just going straight to Misty. Or going straight to like the next whatever milestone fight there is, right? Or I guess would it be Nugget Bridge or like Surge or something like that? Somewhere where the 20s matter. But like, you wouldn't consider that training or grinding, like, cause that's effort. Like you, cause you could have said, fuck the Magikarp. I can just go grab a I don't know, one of those little Poliwrath or Poliwrath or some bullshit, you know? If Pokemon 1 can't fight like a Magikarp or a newly hatched Pokemon, but otherwise no. Okay, in the Magikarp instance, yeah, it probably would be grinding, but for just a couple of levels, I wouldn't call it grinding, if that makes sense. I don't think that's a couple of levels, though, Kelly. I think that, because like I said, right, think like this, right? To get Magikarp to evolve, you have to go from 5 to 20. You're already in your middle teens by the time you get that Magikarp. You're about to go into Mount Moon. And by the time you get out of that, one Pokemon's already level 20 or level like 19. Another Pokemon's maybe like 16 or 17. Another one's maybe like 14 or 15. And by the time you're done with that Magikarp in that Mount Moon is maybe like 10, 9. You get what I'm saying? You have to stay in a little patch of grass for a little bit, or you can just switch train Nugget Bridge until it's time to go battle Misty. Because Misty's fighting like level 22, 23. Unless you chose Bulbasaur and you just went nuts with Vine Whip and you were that guy. You know what I'm saying? You're removing experience from your already good mon to help a weaker one grow, hoping it will pay off, but the already strong mon lost some experience in doing that. I agree. That's to me that is grinding, you know? But the amount of experience gained changes it though. Well, yeah, Magikarp is a lot of levels. I'm agreeing with you, but if you were switch training to get any other Pokemon from like 17 to 20, I wouldn't call it grinding. I think okay, but then, right? I think that like in those instances, right? I would assume that if you're switching something out, you're switching something out at like a moderate level base. Like you're already on that level, right? So like I don't think, how do I say this? How do I say this? Let's say like, for example, we're already like level 22. My starter's level 22. My bird Pokemon is level 21. And I have like a Breloom that I'm trying to get, right? And my guy is level 20. I need to get like those 2 more levels or whatever. But all the Pokemon around me are like in their early teens and or like late single digits or whatever. You're still having to like go in and get that extra effort of like those 2 levels to get that Breloom to, or that Shroomish to evolve, to get that Breloom so he fits with the rest of your team. You get what I'm saying? It's like you're still doing that because you're still a couple levels behind from where you're trying to get. You're trying to get that Breloom so he can match the strength of your level 23 starter Pokemon and your level 21 Route 1 bird that you caught, right? That Shroomish is like level 17. We just got done beating Roxanne and Brawly's ass. There's a couple of trainers here. That Breloom can already, you don't even need to switch train anything. You can still just go battle them. Just get a couple levels up and you're done. That's still technically grinding because you have to stop the forward of the movement. Because you gotta think, once you're done with Brawly and Roxanne, it's straight to Watson. There's a lot of battles in between then, right? What's a couple of levels? But that's a couple of levels that's stopping you from moving forward to get to Watson. You have to stop to battle all the trainers in the route or battle some random wild Pokemon to sit here and just like get a couple of levels up. That's still technically grinding because you have to repeatedly go and battle random trainers or random Pokemon that you normally would not have to if you were just progressing forward in the game pacing, you know? Just to get that extra Pokemon out the way so you have an extra person you can use, viable team member you can use in that fight for when you get to the gym leader. You get what I'm saying? It's still grinding. I wouldn't call trainer battles friction. That's just forward battling. How'd he know I had a starter and a Route 1 bird? Yo, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. How do you know? How did he know my team? What the fuck? But it's like, and this goes back to like, Pokemon being one of those things where it's like a very linear RPG where it's like you always go forward. You always go forward, right? I think stopping in those moments, some could argue that stopping and trying to like get those last bit of levels out, right, is a part of the experience. Like that's a part of like, training your Pokemon to, you know what I'm saying? To get to that point, But I think that most of the time those battles aren't required. I think because it's optional, that's what makes it grinding. Because most trainers, you don't have to fight. You can leave. Like, when you get to, shut up, Kabuki. When you get to Slayport, who remembers this, right? Watch this. When you get to Slayport, that beach, that beach in Slateport is full of optional boss battles or full of optional trainer battles, right? You can skip all those trainers and still make it to that route before Wattson and still battle the rival and shit and still be solid. Right? But if you have, let's say you caught a Aaron from Duford, right? Those Aarons coming like 13 or 14. But at this point, you're already like 18, 19 or whatever. So it's like, damn, do I go in, get to Wattson? You get what I'm saying? Do I go into Wattson with my normal team that I had and my struggling level 15 or 14 Aaron? Or do I sit here and battle these like 4 or 5 little kids on this beach and the 5 trainers in the fucking soda shop and a couple of trainers on that route before so I can at least get him to that level, you know? It's all optional. But if you want that, you're technically grinding. You feel me? It's just a different, even Oreburgh mine, you can walk around 2 campers in a way. You know, exactly. You can skip that, or, you know, I'll kill you. Yo, Kabuki, please. I'm a strangle Kabuki, y'all. Anyway.
You don't need to switch into your stronger team members to support your Pokemon, as you see them able to fight on their own, as you see them being with the support for your new team members.
I agree. And because what he's saying is, as you use these Pokemon, they become viable team members for your other team members. So like that Breloom, watch this, that Breloom that we just grinded for those 3 or 4 levels for is now a viable team member. So the next person that we add on to the team, he's supporting that too.
It's the memory that's part of what makes Pokemon worth playing, isn't it? And again, just because something isn't exactly fun doesn't mean it's a bad thing to have in games. I mean, most games are predicated on the fact that you can lose, and while losing isn't fun, it's precisely what makes winning enjoyable. Of course, that's an extreme example, but that's about as deep as I can go into the matter without ballooning this video's length. Seeing your team grow and evolve over time, seeing their individual strengths and weaknesses change along with that. This is exactly what the classic EXP system did for the game. You had to use all of your Pokemon. You had to see them in their weaknesses and their strengths, and the EXP all utterly shreds that. If the EXP all existed in Platinum, there'd be no reason for me to touch my Budew at all until it's evolved and strong enough to fight on its own. There'd be no reason to use any of my Pokemon outside of the most optimal one, as there's no cost to neglecting any of your Pokemon. Of course, you might feel that I'm just being sentimental, but this sentiment was baked into the EXP systems of the classic games. And that's why, for many players, that these new games feel a lot more hollow. But then you might say there's nothing stopping you from playing this way in the new games, but to that, again, I have to say... I
don't think the experience shares the reason why niggas don't like the new games. I'm gonna be honest with you all. I'm telling you, I think people saying the Pokemon games are easy, therefore the games aren't fun anymore. I think that is a cover-up argument for I grew out of Pokemon. I'm telling you, I'm 100%, I'm being so honest with you. I do not think that is a valid, like, I don't think that's a real argument. I'm gonna be for real with you. I think a lot of these people have grown out of Pokemon and they're in denial. And I think that they are trying to hold on to something that literally does not make any sense. Because to be honest here, right, if we're being honest, when it comes to new Pokemon games, the easy critique has not been the problem. People don't have the new Pokemon games lack wonder. What made Pokemon amazing, let's be honest here. And I mean this 100%. I mean this 1,000%. A lot of the newer Pokemon games lack style. They lack fidelity. They lack depth. Not in battle. Just the region that you're in. Paldea fucking sucks. I keep telling you. Look at what Scarlet and Violet is and compare that to that of a Black and White 2 Unova. You can't go into houses. There's no reason to talk to trainers. There's damn near no NPCs to talk to in that fucking game. All of the region is explorable. There's nothing to discover in those games. There's no reward for exploration. All the Pokemon all the Pokemon in the route are catchable. You can plan out your fucking team. The surprising factor of wild encounters is gone, so you don't know what the fuck's on the route. So when you go into the new route, you see everything. You see everything already. The stories are fucking ass. Even if the older games were fucking ass or whatever, or Child's Play or whatever compared, you had to you had to play the game to experience that shit. Pokemon nowadays is a skeleton of what it used to be because these older games lack content. These newer games lack content. Everything that you can do in Scarlet and Violet, sure, it's streamlined. Like you can make a competitively viable Pokemon. You can make a Pokemon that's ready to go in VGC and online in 30 minutes in Pokemon. In Scarlet and Violet, you can make a brand new hatched Pokemon ready for battle in like 15 minutes. That's the best thing Scarlet and Violet has done. I'm being for real here. That's the best thing they have done, right? Other than that, Scarlet and Violet are literally bare bones games. I'm telling you, you can go anywhere in the fucking region. Most of the NPCs don't fucking talk to you. You can walk around the trainers. The trainers don't stop you. The raid dens give you more experience. There's barely any side content in Scarlet and Violet. And most of the content that niggas praise for Scarlet and Violet is DLC. So what the fuck are we talking? You're not, what niggas are really mad about, what people are really mad about is the fact that I can't pay $70 for a Pokemon game without it feeling incomplete, and me having to sit here and wait for a $30 add-on for my games to feel complete, for the optional content to feel like it's fulfilling, for my games to fucking work. That's what you're really mad at. That's what you're really mad at. That's what's really going on here. I think that people, like I said, are not gravitating towards the new skeleton of Pokemon. And unfortunately, they're trying to find the battles because the battles are easier now. You're just pressing A, but yeah, you just got access to, let's be honest here. Let's be 100% honest here. Them being able to show you Pokemon on the route is a good thing and a bad thing, because now you have access to really broken Pokemon early, and you can like catch whatever Pokemon you want optimally. So for most battles, you're just pressing A and not what the game gives you. Like, at least in like, because Pokemon was so linear. Ooh, this is a brand new idea. Because Pokemon was so linear, you had to use whatever Pokemon you had access to, right? So when you make it open area or open world, you give people access to Pokemon they normally would not have chosen or would have been able to get access to. Like in Legends Arceus, right? You can go through that entire game and catch an alpha. The very first area, that Gyarados that's just flying around, you can toss a Pokemon at it and it'll catch it. You can have level 5 Pokemon, level 10 Pokemon, and it'll still catch it. When you give players access to the really good, really broken, really hidden secret Pokemon that should not have been access to, of course the game's gonna be easy. These guys can press A. These guys can just press A. Whereas in normal Pokemon, you go to a route, you have 3 to 4 Pokemon you have access to, and literally have to grind out those Pokemon. When you have access to open world, open area Pokemon game, and you're able to go see that Snorlax that's over there, or that Alakazam that's over there, or that Gyarados is over there, or that level 40 Rapidash is over there, and you're able to throw a ball at it and catch it potentially, it loses all types of like reward for those lower level Pokemon, because now I can just go catch any Pokemon I want and it'll obey me. That right there is the problem. That right there, just say that that's the issue. That is the issue. That is the problem. The problem is in the older Pokemon games, you could miss Pokemon. You were limited to the 4 or 5 Pokemon per that route. Whereas in the newer games, you might get lucky and find a Munchlax really early on and catch it. That's your first team member on your team after your starter Pokemon. Thank you, Dragons, for these new little bits that YouTube has are weird. But thank you, dog. That right there is that's the real culprit. That right there is the real culprit. The game design's different. Open world Pokemon has notoriously been a humongous issue, and that's a way bigger issue and or problem than anything else. That's the problem. Overall Pokemon, you can see everything. You can choose what Pokemon you can get access to. That's the real problem. Yo, we just cracked the code, dead ass. I'm being so for real. We just literally just cracked. That is the answer. Holy shit. That is the problem. It's not that Pokemon's easy. They're giving you everything. Of course it's easy. You can just press A. You just got it, bro. You can get a Gibble in Scarlet and Violet by leaving the fucking thing and going into that little cave to the left. Literally. What the fuck do you need what the fuck do you need a Gibble for? What do you need a Gibble for the first gym badge? Hold on, my mother's calling me. Hold on. I had to I had to tell my little cousin, we can't use the pool because I gotta get a new key, but I hate telling her no. But yeah, I think we cracked the code. I think we legit just cracked the code, chat. What's good, Unum? ZA is the same way. Bro, really like Ash Ketchum. What's wrong with you? I can read lips. It's been 2 days. I hate you. Scarlet and Violet at least limit the levels you can catch the mons, though. I agree. Yeah. Twitter's been exploding. Still? Still? Still, that's a. But yeah, I think we solved the real problem here. You know, Pokemon these days is easy as fuck because you can have a team with 500 plus BST from the start before you. Yeah, exactly. That right there is the problem. I just woken up an hour ago. I'm back in bed. Headaches are the worst. I know. Then we got a headache and it's nice outside. After this stream, I'm about to go for like one of them walks. It's beautiful. It's nice outside. I'm sorry. Let's go.
Being something you have to LARP rather than it being a part of the game's design makes it feel a lot more hollow, as engaging with the game's mechanics will always feel more fulfilling than just LARPing. The harmony between the gameplay mechanics and choices you make and its impact on your team, both story and strength, no longer exists, something that was part of the Pokemon game's identity as a series. But even beyond that, it also just homogenizes the way you raise teams entirely. Again, the choice between many or few Pokemon no longer exists, and Pokemon like Magikarp that used to be an incredible strain to train are no longer so. Instead, they can just simply sit in the back of your party without you having to interact with them at all. And this applies to other Pokemon like baby Pokemon and pseudo-legendaries. Of course, there are some Pokemon with unique evolution methods that do require you to engage with them, but these Pokemon are really few. And even if, hypothetically speaking, every Pokemon was designed like this from here on out, it still wouldn't fix the issues with the original 600 Pokemon made with the original classic system of EXP games. And again, it just really homogenizes the way you interact with your team and Pokemon. A lot of decision making you had to make just no longer exists. The crux of the issue with the EXP All is that it obliterates a lot of the
Yo, I hate Kabuki so much. Katie, ignore this nigga, bro.
depth that the classic Pokemon games had, while offering nothing in return except for simpler, often easier gameplay, which compounded with some of the new mechanics introduced to new generations and made the gameplay experience go from easy games that could make you think to more mindless experiences where you just put the square block in the square hole. Of course, I'm not speaking for every game. Generation 7 is a big blank for me since I haven't gotten to my replay yet, though I do remember some of the big fights like Ultra Necrozma. The moment-to-moment gameplay is quite foggy for me, so I'll have to ask you to fill me in on that.
I'm telling y'all, the pacing and like how the battles were in Sun and Moon were really good. These games, I'm telling you, these games will be remembered.
Comments section. But generally speaking, many generations do suffer from this. This is one part of the issue though, but it's not the whole. The EXP share is one thing, but the way the community interacts with the games is another. I think a big part of the reason there's been a rise of complaints about grinding and whatnot is that the younger generations who didn't grow up with these older games have grown up but aren't interacting with these games on their own terms, rather trying to force the way they think Pokemon should be played onto the games that simply aren't designed for it. But then again, can you really blame them? If you've grown up in any time between the last 12 years and now, you're going to be playing a Pokemon game with the EXPL.
Oh my god, that is true. You also got to remember we're talking to different Pokemon fans. I remember there was a TikTok. There was literally a TikTok of this white girl. She was like, I'm playing through Fire Red and Leaf Green right now, and somebody on Twitter was like, "Oh, you guys didn't have to struggle like we did. We were in the trenches playing Pokemon." And she was like, "Yeah, thank God, because I'm playing through Fire Leaf Green right now, and it is slow and it's dry and it's sluggish." I'm sitting here now, mind you, I'm looking at her like, whoa, what is she talking about? What is she talking about? But then remember, Fire and Leaf Green are like, those are old Pokemon games. The new kids the old shit is not their shit. Their Pokemon games are easy because they don't know them. No, their Pokemon games are hard because they don't know Pokemon. You get what I'm saying? It's just a different demographic of people. It's just a different time thing of people, bro.
System that fundamentally changes the way you interact with the game and each of your Pokemon. I mean, even when I replayed Pokemon X, I left the EXP share on just to see through the lens of the average player, and wow, I mean, yeah, I neglected all of my Pokemon except for my Mega Charizard as soon as they handed it to me because it just steamrolled through everything. There's no reason to use anything else. unless my Charizard fainted, and even then, I was never punished for it because the EXP all had all my other Pokemon up to such a strong level anyway. And that's just the way Pokemon is played now. An entire generation grew up with games that rewarded you for only using the Pokemon that disposed of the enemy the fastest, which would often be done by just mashing a stab move with your starter, and you'd never really be punished for neglecting any of your other Pokemon because they'd pop out of their Pokeball like they'd been part of those fights too, whenever you needed them. I mean, you can't really blame people for playing this way. If you started with X and Y or any game after that, this was just the standard way of playing. There would be no reason to think anything else. But because of this, a person who's only played these newer games is naturally going to run into a wall whenever they go back to the older ones, and this strategy just isn't as effective. That said, it is on them to learn the proper way of interacting with these games on their own terms, but it isn't surprising to see them struggle. They might not even know what they're doing is wrong, especially since the EXP all is under the hood now. The game doesn't even tell you about it anymore. It's for sure a jarring shift, but the critiques against grinding and whatnot still don't go beyond the surface level of the gameplay. At the end of the day, it is on the player to figure out how a game is supposed to be played as they play it. Now, you may have watched this video up to this point and think I'm staunchly against the EXP all, but this is a video about the honest truth, the nuance between the extremes. And the truth is, there are Pokemon games that massively benefit from the EXP all. Of course, the biggest issue with the EXP all is the games aren't built with it in mind. Not just the game's difficulty, but the gameplay loop too. But there are two games that I think do greatly benefit from the EXP all.
I don't know. I think the games are. I think the games. I don't know. I think. Are the games balanced around? Nah, I think the games are balanced around the experience all. I don't think they're designed for the experience all. There's no reason I'm fighting not fully evolved Pokemon at level 35 or 36 when they evolve at 32 or 31. There's no reason I'm fighting one stage evolutions at level 50. There's no reason why we're going through Victory Road and niggas are not fully evolved their Pokemon. That is just bad. That's just poor design. That's poor design, bro. But what do I know, man?
Those being both entries into the Legend series, and if you know anything about them, it's that their gameplay loops are
They're the greatest Pokemon games we have in the modern era. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be so honest with you. These are the best Pokemon games, like, on the Switch. Like, these are like, I hate to say it. These are the best Pokemon games. The Legends games are literally. I don't want to start repeating myself, but y'all know what I feel. Y'all know how I feel about these games, bro.
Radically different from the other games. Legends Arceus is about exploring the land of Hisui as a new frontier and learning about the environment and Pokemon, which leads you to naturally cycling around your team a lot to complete research tasks, and the EXP all aids this gameplay loop. It's because you're not really building one static team, but rather raising a variety of Pokemon to fill out those research tasks. There's also not a lot of trainer battles in Legend Arceus, so the old method of training your Pokemon can't really be applied here, while at the same time you get a ton of EXP from catching Pokemon, which can often be done without even entering a battle. The classic EXP share just simply wouldn't work as well with this game. Legend ZA, on the other hand, is a complete opposite. Its gameplay loop is full of battles with NPCs, but it's a real-time system that encourages you to take the fight at a more faster pace. Even the jobbers that in old Pokemon would normally exist to help you train your weaker members end up somewhat threatening, as with the amount of damage and coverage moves thrown around in the game, you're far more likely
Damn, he getting fucked up by this damn Baneri.
Having the optimal Pokemon for this situation is much more critical in this game than its moment-to-moment gameplay loop. The game structure isn't like traditional Pokemon, and because of this, the old EXP share system wouldn't work as well. Sure, that friction that was created by the old EXP share is still sort of obliterated here, but I'm not sure that would even be a net benefit to these games due to how differently they play and how that friction would negatively impact these games' fluidity, which they so rely on. Both Legends games have gameplay loops that the EXPL actively aids in, as those systems of gameplay are better built for the EXPL due to just how differently they play from traditional games. It's different, but it's not bad. It's good, even. To conclude, I would like to reiterate and clarify the points I'm making in this video. At the end of the day, the EXP creates a completely different way of interacting with your team and the Pokemon games themselves. The moment-to-moment gameplay is a lot more hollow in the traditional games. A lot of decision-making is completely cut off because of the EXP, homogenizing a lot of your team training, and you don't really have to manage EXP as much. Certain Pokemon that were unique like Magikarp for being hard to train simply aren't so because they are just able to chill in the back of your party until they're battle ready because of the EXP giving them passive EXP growth and killing any need on your end to train them. Of course, there is also the side effect of some of the newer games being very brainless to play, the EXP partially contributing to this, but in my opinion this isn't the best argument against it, as a game can be designed to have difficult fights just as a game without it can have easy fights. The conversation about difficulty should be shifted to the game design outside of the EXP, with the conversation about the EXP shifting towards how you interact with your Pokemon and manage your EXP becoming a lot more shallow, which is something that can't really be fixed just by adjusting a few numbers on an opponent's Pokemon. Another consequence of the EXP is creating a generation of players that try to play the games with the old system and find themselves naturally struggling and thinking the answer is to grind, which it almost never really is, but rather using the other advantages the game gives you over the boss's raw strength to overcome them. Of course, while this is naturally something you'll have to learn, the response online appears to be that of thinking that the old games are simply grind fests, which I would say is simply not the case. And again, this isn't to say the EXP system is completely bad though. There are games that do significantly benefit from this system rather than the classic one, but this is because those games have gameplay loops that have been created to benefit from it. They might not have the team management depth that the classic era in terms of EXP management had. What they offer with their vastly different gameplay loops more than make up for it. While on the other hand, a lot of traditional battling games like Scarlet and Violet and Sword and Shield or X and Y simply don't have this design, which makes them feel a lot more hollow, which is compounded further by the lower difficulty of the newer games, but that's also created by a variety of factors. The honest truth is that it's not really as black and white as any one side would have you believe. The issue of the EXP share is one of design, and whether the game is giving you something worthwhile that the EXP share is needed for, like in the case of the Legend series. But it is a horrible match for something like X and Y or a game like ORAS that simply aren't built for these systems. And finally, I would like to give you a reminder to please not grind mindlessly on wild Pokemon in these older games. Try using some battle items or different status moves you would normally wouldn't, and if you absolutely need the EXP, there are far more efficient sources of EXP than the wild Pokemon in the grass, like Soul Silver's Pokegear or Platinum's VS Seeker. Pokemon is a series that is dear to many, but the discussion around it is often toxic and unproductive, so I'd appreciate it if we can use this comment section as a forum for civil discussion, so please no name calling or reductive statements. And if you enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe or hype the video. It really helps me out.
This was solid. No, this was good. This is actually, I'll be honest with you, like I agree with everything he's ever said. I think in everything in this video that he's talked about, I think I've been having this conversation with these exact same people for the longest time, and people just like, you know, are just weirded out, but it is what it is. This was super solid, man. W to that. Leave a like on that one. That was good. My goodness. That was good. That was really good. What's good, Philly? How you doing, bro? Ski, how you doing, bro? My goodness, man. How long you been live for, man? We've been live for how long? I don't want to be on this bitch for too long. We have been on here for a minute. 2 hours? Yeah, okay. I'm ready to go. I'm gonna go. Y'all have a good rest of y'all day. It's amazing outside. Please go enjoy your I'm not doing a podcast. Please go enjoy Memorial Day. Please go enjoy yourselves. I will talk to you all later. Love you guys. Bye.